y'all? Welcome to the very first episode of the Waybright Family Podcast. I am your producer, Julie Gayhart, and here to the direct right, I think, of me is the Miss Marsha Waybright, your host. Marsha, welcome to the show. It's your show.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
And right below me, and hopefully I will not mess this up to some of you all, this should be a very familiar face, Nicolle Saw. Go ahead, Nicolle. I already messed it up. So y'all, we have about 10 people in the chat this evening, and we are very thankful you are here for the very first episode of the Waybright Family Podcast. And this entire show is going to revolve around the Waybright family and everything they have going on at their farm, at their bed and breakfast, at their 8 businesses that revolve around working at the farm. So, Marsha, I'm going to turn it over to you and kind of introduce yourself, maybe why you wanted to do a podcast centered around your family, and tell us who the Waybright family is.
Well, the Waybright family has a lot going on all the time. And so one of the main things that we wanted to do is just to introduce ourselves to everyone and let them have a peek into our lives and see what we do have going on here at the farm. So here's our different businesses that we have. I'm Mama Bear, so I have Mama Bear Protection, and I do all of the different firearm safety, hunter safety education. And then we have Laurel Falconer, which is my son, Colin. He's been a masterclass falconer now for several years, but he started his falconry career whenever he was about 14. And we have the West Virginia School of Traditional Skills, which is our 501c3, and this is what we teach through. We do all kinds of classes and things like that. We have It's Kendra Page. She's our fiber artist. We have the Chicken Tender, which is my youngest, and she tends all the chickens, so that's what she went with. Redhead in Mud Boots is my daughter-in-law, and she's a photographer, and she goes, throughout the farm doing all kinds of different things. But the most important thing that we have is the educational farm. Laurel Fork Farm provides all the food for the bed and breakfast. We invite people here to come and enjoy and learn and, just take a step into our lives.
So I'm going to bring us back here, and you can see their businesses. Everything, I'm going to pull this screen back up again, revolves around the Laurel River Club Bed and Breakfast, and all the businesses operate out of the farm and everything you all have going on. So before we get into anything else, friend of the Waybright family right below me, Nicolle, you have not only stayed at the bed and breakfast, but you and Marsha are working on some future projects together. So why don't you all kick it off and talk about some things you guys have going on in the future?
Well, I tell you, Nicolle has been a huge part of, working with us with the Allegheny Trail. If she hadn't started working with us with some of the things that we do, I don't know how we would have proceeded with everything. She's just a huge support, and she brings energy to everything that we do, and we love working with her. So we have some really cool things coming up here in the future. We'll be doing some mushroom inoculation. Nicolle, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, how can you come to West Virginia into the heart of the mountains and not learn a little bit about fungi? And so I'm privileged to sit on the board for the West Virginia Mushroom Club. And one of the things that we do is education through 4As. We have a 3-day 4A at Blackwater Falls in Tucker County, very close to where Marsha is. Be a great place to stay and commute to that. We're going to partner for a lunch and learn. And that's something that Marsha and her family put together often on a variety of topics. So in March, we're going to collaborate and work on a shiitake mushroom log inoculation seminar where you're going to learn about fungi, the medicinal components, who, what, when, where, why, and how to not only grow them, but preserve them and put them back into your body for medicine. So just a snippet there of what's to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to learn. We have so many mushrooms and different fungi that grow on this farm, and I'm so excited to learn more about those. So that's one of the most interesting things that we do here on the farm. We don't claim to know everything. In fact, we enjoy learning as much as we enjoy teaching. And so if we don't know how to do it, we invite somebody here who does. And we learn right alongside of everybody else. And we exchange information and just have a great time.
One of the things that I thought was really cool when I got a chance to come stay at your property, Marsha, is you guys do an abundance of things. You've got some amazing events coming up. And that's one of the things as we go month to month with this show. And we should tell the audience this show is going to be once a month, the first Monday of each month. We will have a live stream, not only on the Waybright Family Podcast or Waybright Family YouTube channel, but also I'm going to be streaming that over on my YouTube channel so my listeners can hear more and find out and maybe come visit y'all. And I think it would be good to, Marsha, why don't you walk through some of the stuff that you guys have coming up so people can go back and put that on their calendar. Right now, for March 22nd, that is when you and Nicolle are going to get together and have that weekend. But you also have the concealed carry. So talk about that.
Yeah, we have the concealed carry classes coming up, and we encourage everybody to keep up with those dates on the website. We put them out and we set them. And if we see that they're not going to be filling up, or that, if they're not going to be people signing up for them, then we can switch the dates around a little bit so that it's better for people. But these are the dates that we set up so that people can make plans in advance. But the concealed carry classes is really important because in the state of West Virginia, you don't have to have a concealed carry permit in order to conceal carry. But we encourage people to go through the class just for safety reasons. And, you can never learn too much about carrying. And so we go through a lot of different things, just safety of your home. If you want to learn more about which gun would be good for you to carry, if you may come to the class and decide that you don't even want to carry. And you know what? That's fine too, because we're here to educate and we don't want you to do anything that's not comfortable for you. There are other ways to protect yourself. In fact, we're going to be working with Gene and Tamara Smithson coming up, and that's going to be self-defense using jiu-jitsu. So it's going to be a really, really neat thing that's going to be coming up. I think we're going to start that on Mother's Day weekend, but we're really excited to be working with them and have lots of alternate ways to protect yourself just beyond concealed carry. Then we have the hunter safety education. And, there are so many guns in the state of West Virginia, and, we love our guns. And so even if you don't use a gun, it's important that you know how to be safe around one. And so we love to do these hunter safety education courses. They're all free of charge. And we work with the West Virginia Department of Natural Resources to pull these off. And, we always have a really good turnout with those, and we love doing them. Typically, we do those on the same days that we do the concealed carry. So we just basically have a gun day each month. And, we really enjoy it and invite you to come and share and learn. Even if you don't plan on ever using a gun, it's important that you're going to be around one eventually. And so we're real excited about doing those in the future. I think we have one of those about every month this year. We also do CPR, first aid, and AED. We have a lot of those classes coming up as well. We do private classes with this also. So if somebody has missed a deadline or they need to move forward and they really need to get a class, if you contact us, we work with people to make sure that they get the things that they need.
Excellent. So, y'all, there is just a very small taste, and I mean a very small taste of what Marsha and her family have going on at the farm. And one of the things that I wanted to mention, and I am going to pull up this picture here, you cannot go without talking about the Laurel Fork Falconers. So, Marsha, take it away with that one.
So my son, Colin, of course, is a Laurel Fork Falconer. He's been doing this since he was 14 years old. He's known throughout the state of West Virginia. He has done all kinds of presentations in and out of the state. He loves to go to schools, libraries, and he knows so much about the birds. Sometimes we'll be outside and he can just look up at the sky and name off whatever's flying over. And I'm like, I got nothing. But, he's awesome. And, we watch for him to do really good things. He loves to do his falconry, and he will do hunts and stuff if people contact us. So that's a real fun thing.
And I know we should give a big shout out to Colin, who is behind the scenes right now. Not only is he the Laurel Fork Falconer, but he is also Marsha's audio and video CEO. That's what we will call him. So
Yes.
huge shout out to Colin. And another thing that you guys have going on at your property, and you have said this to me multiple times, and you and Nicolle could talk more about this, is your love for the Allegheny Trail hikers and seeing them and having hikers
Yes.
stay at your property and what all you offer in that aspect. So, Marsha, why don't you talk about that for a little bit? And then, Nicolle, you can chime in on what the Allegheny Trail has going on in that area.
Sure.
Yeah, we love our hikers. You know, whenever they come through, we take care of them, whatever their needs are. We do transports. You know, we offer resupply. You know, they can send packages here and come through and pick them up. We offer them to either stay here or camp on the property. And, you know, we'll always take care of our hikers no matter what. We love our Allegheny Trail hikers. Nicolle, do you have anything to say?
For those of y'all that are thinking about hiking West Virginia's longest hiking trail, the Allegheny Trail, 311 miles, Marsha's perfectly positioned in a super unique location where you're going to have to hike from Davis, which is a great little town. You're going to have to hike 16 miles to get to her place. So it's a perfect resupply. She also grows her own food and can offer you not just farm to table to eat while you're there, but also to go. So in a little while, we'll talk about that, Marsha. I hope your food to go for the hikers. But like she said, they offer shuttles so you can slack pack. You know, this is in section 2, so it's not quite the halfway point, but you might already have a blister. You might already be rained on. This is a perfect place to dry out, relax, take a 0 day, recharge. The property itself with the animals, the river, the family, the food you're going to have is just beyond belief. So I encourage all the hikers I come in contact with to at least park it there for a little while. The other part of that is for people who are hiking and maybe platinum blazing, this is a great place to have your family member or your friend meet you, right? So they drop you off, they come, y'all can hang out, do your thing, have a bonfire, and then move on the next day. But I've personally had the privilege of staying there, meeting the whole family, which are, I know Julie said it ahead of time, fabulous people, very well-versed, very knowledgeable in a variety of elements.
I mean, Marsha almost had me talked into going in on a bear hunt. I mean, these are the things that are happening.
Yeah, and I think just segue back for a second, not Allegheny Trail, but I'm a hunter. I'm all for concealed carry. I'm all for women learning that. I'm all for people of age learning not just how to use a gun, but to protect themselves if they come across a gun or they're in a situation and know how to diffuse the situation to manage a gun. We see a lot of times there's accidents with those. Gun education to me is just as important as getting your license to drive, right? You know the value of driving. There's a value in understanding gun safety. And what, like Marsha said, whether you ever use it or not, I'm a huge proponent of understanding safety. So, but back to the hikers for a second, you know, that's a beautiful location again, because your next town that you will run into is Durbin. And that's a long ways away, my family. So you want to resupply, you want to, you know, get that rest, and you've got quite a hike ahead of you to get to the next town. And let me tell you, I don't know another family run business where you can support your dollar, stay right here local in West Virginia, and they're going to treat you with the best West Virginia charm going.
And I do want to show you all something real quick, because if anybody has looked at the weather, I'm going to pull this up. So this is your front yard right now, right, Marsha?
Yes. Yeah, we have over 10 inches right now.
So I'm actually shocked that we're even able to still live stream, because you reached out to me earlier. I was at work and I was like, oh my gosh, do we need to cancel? So where are you at, Nicolle? You've got several inches as well, right?
Yeah, I've got 13 by now, probably 14 when we talked a little while ago, and a layer of ice in between there, which makes it crunchy and nice and beautiful. But I'm probably about maybe 45 to 55 miles away from you. Not exactly sure, but I'm closer to the next resupply that y'all would hit, the town of Durbin on our trail, which is kind of the midway point on the Allegheny Trail there. So we're in this pretty unique area, West Virginia. It's called Pocahontas County. It's the birthplace of rivers, and we get a ton of snow and a ton of rain. And so this is just kind of, we were talking earlier, this is kind of like the old days. You know, you got some snow out there. Our projected low this week's -19 with 53-mile-an-hour winds and 24 inches of snow. Hallelujah, winter.
So I am proud of you all for still coming on, still doing this, and embarking on this new endeavor for you all, Marsha, you and your family. And I do have the website that I'm going to pull up here shortly, but I was wondering, are we going to get a sighting of maybe the Laurel Fork falconer maybe next time, chicken tender? Like, are we going to start seeing some more of the Waybright family? And fill us in on that.
Oh, absolutely. You'll be seeing sneak peeks of everything that's going on here at the farm in between sessions also. So we'll be live once a month, but you'll be seeing a lot of other footage that fills in between. But yeah, I'm sure that they'll be really eager to step in with everything that's going on, especially Chicken Tender. I'm going to drag her in here. She's watching right now.
I can see you looking up there at her like, don't even mention me coming in this live stream. So the central focus of all of this that we've been talking about is your farm, and then all your family businesses that revolve around your farm. And it's almost you and your husband, your children, their spouses. Every single one of you are entrepreneurs, and I love it. And I love that the central housing unit is the Laurel Fork Bed and Breakfast, and everything kind of operates out of there. I think the main reason that you wanted to do this podcast is to get more, you want people to come visit, right?
Right. We want people to come and visit. We want people to know we're here. One of our main things is we want to reconnect people with nature and the way that things used to be. You know, this is a homestead. This is a farm that has a little bit of everything. We're not some commercialized, entity. We literally do what we've always done, and we just allow people into our lives right now to see it. And so everything that we've done, we were doing before it was cool, you know. We were farming and doing the homesteading thing before it became this big popular thing. So, you know, we do everything from, animal husbandry, hunting, fishing, tracking, Appalachian herbalism, forest farming, mountain medicine, We do Trail of Discovery, Mysteries of the Night. We do nighttime hikes. People think that's so much fun. You go out there and you first of all, we're in an area that has no light pollution. So, there are people that are, where are the lights? They don't see the stars normally the way we see them. We go out and we're like looking at the stars constantly, and the lightning bugs or the fireflies. Actually, we call them bright beetles, and that's another project that we're going to be working on. You're going to be hearing a lot more about. But, we have so many things that we do just here on the farm that's just like common for us. And so many people want or need to learn them. We do pruning and planting your garden, harvesting from your garden, preserving your harvest, canning, dehydrating, freeze drying, how to make kombucha, jelly, bread, all of these things that we just normally do, that we just invite people to come right in and learn.
Well, let's get to that website. So you kind of have a one-stop shop, which is your Laurel River Club Bed and Breakfast. And I've got it up here, and I can scroll through here. But it looks like on the left-hand side, there's categories. People can click all those different categories. So tell us more about your website. And as you talk, I'll scroll through it here.
On the very first page, of course, it tells a little bit about us and how you can experience West Virginia with us. And this is from a farming perspective, from a very back to nature perspective. You're not going to do a whole lot of shopping here on the farm. We're surrounded by over 920,000 acres of national forest, 3 state parks, and wilderness area. We have 4 rooms in the bed and breakfast. And then we also have the stargazing glamping dome, which is a huge hit. People love to go down there, and it's glamping. So, there's a wood stove, you stay warm. We get people there year round. It's full for probably the next week or so, just people coming and going. And, it's a great experience. If you want to do the camping thing, but you don't want to sleep on the ground, it has a beautiful queen bed, which is something that I prefer whenever I go camping these days. Yeah, we have the experiences that you can actually choose, whenever you come here, or you can call ahead and, book those in. And everybody has a little bit of something to offer. The chicken tender, she does most of the farm tours. It's Kendra Page. We have all of her crocheted plushies and items in our gift shop. Redhead and Mud Boots, she has stuff in her gift shop. There's just all kinds of things. So, whenever you come here, you can actually take a piece of the farm back home with you. We just love to share what we have to offer. But again, there are times we learn from others too. I've learned how to make all different kinds of dishes from other countries. We've had over 64 countries now and all but 2 of the United States. And so if anybody knows anybody from North or South Dakota, please send them our way. We need to get those pins in our map.
Give them a coupon code right now, Marsha.
You call us and tell us you're from North or South Dakota and I'll make you a good deal.
We got to see your license.
You show your driver's license and we'll give you a good deal. Well, it's like a living geography lesson. Just living here in Jenningston, I used to be able to count everybody who lived here on one hand. Now I have to use, started having kids, I have to use 2. We never would have met this many people, any other way. And so we have enjoyed it so much. And we look forward to meeting people.
And Nicolle, you've stayed in that glamping tent personally. So, tell us about that. Tell them about that experience.
It's great. I loved it. I woke up, again, as a hunter, I woke up and saw a deer walking right by, and I was like, oh, checking them out, right before hunting season.
Y'all, I got to tell you, we got up that morning because I was there that same weekend, and immediately Marsha and Nicolle are talking about their deer they found that morning and the big buck that walked by, and I was like, oh my God.
It's true. But no, seriously, it's very comfortable. You have all your own privacy. Like she said, there's a wood stove. There's a table in there. I had internet in there, for good Lord. I don't know how you got that down there, but I had internet there with AT&T.
If the wind blows just right, it works great.
That's funny. But no, seriously, you have a really nice outhouse right there, which is great. Very clean. There's a deck area to sit out, like you said, enjoy the stars. I'd highly recommend it to anybody and everybody. The other thing I want to say too, Marsha, you got to toot your own horn here for a second. Marsha has been a speaker. So those of you that are thinking of coming and learning, let me tell you, she's been a speaker on so many platforms. For those of you that are in the homesteading community, Mr. Nicolle Sawczyszyn has shared the stage with Marsha. She didn't share it with him. At the same time, she's spoken on at several conferences in the state of West Virginia. Marsha's cutting edge, not only with her ability to remain open-minded and inclusive and progressive with ideas that come to the property, but she also and her family also bring back the old school ways in a fresh, new light. For example, I know you make this at your house, honey, but I'm drinking some of my own homemade apple cider that's going on later in September. So September, October, November, December, it's January. It's 5 months old. These are the things that you can come learn. You can take home. You can do with your families. You can do them with children. You can do them with your girlfriends. You can do them with your boyfriends. Like, there's no reason not to come and enjoy what's going on with the Waybright family.
We've shown them the website. You're also trying to build up your YouTube channel. And as I was going through your YouTube channel and trying to categorize some things, Marsha, you got this whole thing. I'm going to pull it up. You guys can still hear me. You've got this whole thing as you go. If you guys go over to the Waybright Family YouTube page, you've got front porch interviews. OMG. Those are, people love that stuff. From the front porch of the bed and breakfast. You've got, this is what I was going to talk about. You got the farm to table where for 9 minutes you can watch Marsha making biscuits. So Marsha, talk a little bit about what you guys are, your intentions with building the YouTube channel and getting people over to your website. I mean, you guys are not only I should go back to the screen here where people can see me talking. You're homesteading, people can come and digital detox, and here you are in the digital age getting out on YouTube, social media. You all are going from one extreme to the other, and I find it fascinating because most people cannot do both. So talk about how you're handling that along with the family.
Well, that's kind of the most exciting thing about all of this is because we're learning all the time, we are constantly doing things better and better also. So whenever people come here, we're teaching how to do things in such a way that is interesting to people who are used to that digital, but at the same time, they may have a little bit of a withdrawal symptom, whenever they first get here, but then they kind of slip off into the, and get more interested into the nature of everything. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to teach them that it's okay. You don't have to, wait for that phone to ping to figure out what to do in your next moment. There are other things that you can do. Whenever you come to the farm, you never know what's going to be going on. I look out and the sheep are out and I have to go running through the field to get them put back in, or I go out and I realize, oh no, I have to can peppers because I have peppers all over the place out there. So, there's some things that you can plan and then there's some things that you can't. But whenever you have farm life, it's just as exciting as, looking at your phone. Whenever you put the two, you have to put the phone down. You realize that,
Well, I can tell you when I was there, I never looked at my phone. So that's what the property did for me. Yeah.
Instead of looking at the experience, y'all, you're doing the experience there. Instead of looking at somebody else doing it, you are the person who's privileged to learn from such an incredible family who has it not only the old ways, but they've been able to refine it too. Like Marsha, talk for a second about, your farm to table. In the old days, you canned stuff all the time. You didn't have the options of maybe the dehydrated, the professional way now, or freeze dried. So, these are ways that you can continue to ratchet up that learning curve and teach people.
Right. And it's really a neat thing because, we get people who come here who don't know a potato comes from the ground. And so it's exciting to not only be able to tell them that, but to take them out there and show them that. And, whenever we have grapes coming on out in the yard, show them how to make jelly that we serve here at the bed and breakfast. Show them how to make sauerkraut. All the things that we do, we don't just say, okay, look, this is how you do it. It's very hands-on and very experiential learning. And so they actually get to go through everything from, if they're here to help us plant it, to harvesting it, and then to actually, preserving it and eating it at the dinner table. And whenever you show the whole process, there's just a completely different satisfaction out of eating something that, you've grown yourself. And this is stuff that people can do no matter what size yard they have. You don't have to have a farm to do this. You can have a flower bed and just grow some of your own food, and it'll be the best food that you've ever eaten.
I'm here for it. So y'all, as always, time flies when you're having fun. So I'm going to make sure Nicolle and Marsha, I saw the text you sent me, Marsha. West Virginia is in a state of emergency. Everything is shutting down. And I do want to say, Marsha, I'm really proud of you for wanting to put on a podcast, wanting to share to the world, basically. I mean, YouTube has the potential. 2 billion people go on YouTube on a daily basis, to share your farm, your family, your thoughts. And, we will have more people on as we go. So I did want to let everybody know we are going to be on once a month. So next month is Monday, I believe February 3rd. An additional thing that you all will have is I am also going to be putting out the audio version of our talk this evening out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It'll be on all the things, and that will release the Monday morning, 1 week after this episode. So that gives me time to get the audio done and get that out there. I'm going to be quiet, and I think we're ready to close out the episode. I think we've given people enough information. We've shown the website. We've shown YouTube. We've shown some events. And Nicolle, if you got any closing remarks, and then Marsha, we'll leave it to you to close us out, and I'll put on the final screen.
For sure. Been a privilege to be here again, y'all. There's no reason not to come to West by God. Check it out. Get in nature. Bring family. Bring friends. Hike. Eat. And one thing I think Julie may not want anybody to know, but there were some cookies and there were some brownies involved also that Marsha makes all the time. And they travel really well, whether you're a hiker or not. But no, I'm excited for my friend and her and everybody in the Waybright family. They're special people, and it's your opportunity to take advantage of their farm and their skill set. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. I just like to thank everybody for joining us, and it's going to get better in between the lives. You know, we're going to be doing a lot more with I know it's hard for me carrying around a selfie stick, but you know what? We have a lot to teach, and I have some young adults, and so they're getting me into this, and you know, we're going to share as much as we possibly can. So I'm sure there's going to be some things that I'm going to have to get used to, but I'm excited.
All right, y'all. We will be back at the beginning of February. In the meanwhile, go ahead and download the Waybright Family Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts right now. A week from today, next Monday morning, the audio version will be out, and we'll see y'all next time.